We've got a developing situation as a new angle has now been revealed, proving that the controversial Denver Broncos interception was in fact a Buffalo Bills completed catch. And now the NFL has been caught in a massive cover-up. We explain with Anajar and Levine accident attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. Up first, take a look at the new angle and you'll see the catch was in fact completed.
Ball is intercepted.
And look again. Cooks has possession of the ball. Knee down. He's down by contact. Clearly still with possession of the ball. Yeah, and it's here where the NFL now has a massive problem. Quote, the fact this angle was not released until days later says everything. This has never ever been called a pick. The officials were afraid of the home crowd. They blew the call. Then the league threw every foot soldier possible out to try and gaslight the masses. Yeah, and that includes Walt Anderson, who awkwardly attempted to cover for the league. But even the NFL's own studio hosts could not hide their disbelief.
The call on the field was the ball was immediately loose when they hit the ground. It didn't hit the ground and was gained control by the defender. That's why it was an interception.
Right, yeah, and Steve Mariucci confronted Anderson with the question the entire world wants answered.
Why didn't he explain this then and explain it to the coach? Go under the hood and be thorough like we see time and time again in such a big game like this.
They stopped the game for lesser moments all season
Sean McDermott
long.
had to take a timeout just to say, hey, can we look at this thing a little bit closer?
Yeah, but wait until you hear the excuse the NFL is offering up now. Delivered by Bud's Chicken and Seafood. Order right now, budschicken.com. Listen now to what Anderson actually said as to why the play wasn't reviewed or explained.
They really want to move the game along, and they don't want to have unnecessary stoppages. And I understand. I get people's point.
And even CBS News has called Anderson and the NFL out on a, quote, whopper of a lie. And this was back in 2022. Albert Breer says the whole thing smelled. Even after McDermott called the timeout, the review seemed very rushed. Incredibly close call. Shouldn't have happened that fast. The league's developed a trust issue with its fans and this stuff. Yeah, and Breer admitted the sad truth to Dan Patrick.
Public trust is at an all-time low. You know, I agree with Sean McDermott. There needs to be more clarity.
Yeah, and then he asks what we all need to know.
I just think like public trust is at an all-time low. You know, and I agree with Sean McDermott. There needs to be more clarity.
Yeah, but then he admits what this is really all about.
In an era when the NFL and its teams are taking money hand over fist from all the gambling companies, I think having some clarity on the way these things are being officiated and the way certain plays are being adjudicated is paramount.
Yeah, but it's here where the cover-up is exposed. Presented by Lindstrom ACM Plumbing. Your wife is cool. She called Lindstrom, LindstromAir.com. Just before being fired, now former Bills coach Sean McDermott actually went there.
It's hard for me to understand why it was ruled the way it was ruled. And if it is ruled that way, then why wasn't it slowed down? Just to make sure that we have this right. That would have made a lot of sense to me, to make sure that we have this thing right.
Yeah, and he admitted it. The league actually attempted a cover-up.
But I'm saying it because I'm standing up for Buffalo, damn it. I'm standing up for us. Because what went on is not how it should go down. To not even say, hey, let's just slow this thing down. That's why I'm bothered.
And that blown call and cover-up cost him his job. Bills owner Terry Pegula confirmed the decision to hire a new coach, quote, based on the results of the game in Denver. Yeah, and speaking of the NFL's gambling partners, take a look at the actual money trail for this game. John Ewing of BetMGM with updated betting information before the game. Just 43% of bets, just 31% of the money was on the Broncos. On the money line to win the game, 62% of bets, 58% of money was on Buffalo, which means the books needed the Broncos to win. The question is on the board. Built by Revolution Roofing, now nationwide. RevolutionRoofingUSA.com. Question, what actually happened here? The NFL wanted to keep it moving. They didn't want a review and an explanation. They didn't want doubt. What they wanted was for this outcome to take place. And you saw the betting numbers. Read into that what you will. Certainly the league and its betting partners made out huge if, in fact, the Broncos could just win the game. Crazy how this works, isn't it? Kind of like your AC. Make sure it works, because sometimes you get inconvenienced. Avoid that. Simply go online to LindstromAir.com. Lindstrom AC and Plumbing. Your wife is cool. she called Lindstrom, LindstromAir.com. Do me a favor. Please hit subscribe, hit like, comment, tell me where I'm right and wrong. I reply to you all. And remember this, every day above ground is a good day. Some are just more questionable than others. So say goodnight to the bad guy.